Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Banjo-Kazooie Xbox Live Arcade version. Today we're looking at next level in the series, Clanker's Cavern. Oh yeah, fun level. I frickin' hated this level as a kid. Oh, gosh, all the swimming. I hated swimming levels. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, Clanker, the main character of this level that we'll be seeing, used to give me nightmares about playing water levels in other games because it's just a huge garbage disposal, robotic-looking shark creature thing of evil. So I was pretty much traumatized growing up because of Clanker. I skipped this level most of my playthroughs as a kid because I was just so, I was so afraid that it was going to eat me or something scary was going to happen. And being in the water, there's a long-standing tradition in platformers when swimming, you are useless. And that always frustrated me whenever I was playing platformers growing up. Is the water levels were always the roughest because you had the least amount of skills available to you to defend yourself. So generally speaking, you avoided them and you never completed them 100%, let alone, like this level in particular, I skipped a lot. Now, today I'm going to do a little bit more of less tightly scripted than what I normally do. I'm going to talk a lot about little snippets information as they come to my head about this level, about the game maybe as they come up. Other than that, it's going to be pretty much me just recounting, you know, my first time experiences. I've done a good job of kind of getting a lot of the interesting information out of the way as far as like the intrigue and whatnot, and I'm sure I'll get to it more and more as time goes on. Now you'll notice our first speed up, I reviewed the footage and I realized it's boring. It's not fun to play either, so I just decided to speed up a lot of the slower parts just to give you guys a little bit of a reprieve. It's kind of a long part, around the 20-minute mark, but as you guys already can tell from the start, so we just hit our second Jinjo at warp speed. Fantastic. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of trivia. Actually, this character at the bottom of the level of Clanker's Cavern, his name is Gloop, and he shoots up bubbles. And there's actually a level in Banjo-Kazooie that we'll play next called Bubble Gloop Swamp. So it's kind of an interesting little lack of originality from the team for them to not be able to come up with a superbly original name. Also just got an achievement there for freeing Clanker. Just gonna head up to the surface, get my Jiggy, and basically by lifting up Clankers we unlock the majority of the ability to do anything as far as getting Jiggies and proceeding through the level. So it's always a good idea to just get that out of the way, and then from the rest of the game you can just enjoy it. But there's actually a couple interesting little tidbits. If you guys didn't notice, Clanker is this big mechanical shark basically. Now, for those of you who are a little bit more interested in Banjo-Kazooie, there's some old beta footage of Banjo-Kazooie where Clanker is actually an organic-looking shark. He looks like a flesh and bone shark. It's a very quick little screenshot, and it's while Banjo is still swimming, though, so he is definitely a shark. But it's sort of an interesting take for that particular character. This one used to stump me. This Jiggy, actually, I used to not know that you had to press B against it, so I would just run up against it and be like, do I need to get some sort of attack or press a switch? No, it's literally as easy as walking up to it and pressing B to open up that door. But yeah, Clanker is made of flesh, and that was really interesting for a lot of people who were keen observers of the game. That Clanker got switched into this metallic character. Now, if you watch the trailer, or the beta trailer is what it is, it's the beta footage, even more keen, rare fans will notice that Fungi Forest, the theme for Fungi Forest plays in the background. So that means that the music from the game, or what seems very close to the original music from Fungi Forest, actually plays through. And I found that quite interesting that in the original beta, you can there's even more proof that Fungi Forest was supposed to be in this game, and then just got moved over to Donkey Kong 64. Like I said, because they got pressed for time to get this content out. Nintendo wanted to get that stranglehold on PlayStation, and this was a title they knew that was going to do that for them. Didn't necessarily get a stranglehold, but it definitely put a nice little fun chunk in their market share, that's for sure. But yeah, so we had the Fungi Forest playing in the background, and this Clanker was originally like a shark that was like an organic character, and yeah, they had the Fungi Forest playing in the background. So a lot of people feel that Clanker was actually was supposed to be the main centerpiece for Fungi Forest in that bottom water section in Donkey Kong 64. I wish I had some more visual cues for you guys to watch along with, but basically it's at the bottom. They made it kind of into a small moat to my memory. They didn't really do a heck of a lot with it. Here we're shooting down the gold teeth. This was always a pain in the frickin' butt, trying to get that lined up and getting off, I think, 3 whole shots. That's tons of fun. But yeah, we've got Clanker here as the main centerpiece, and what's cool is actually I'll be showing Clanker's eyes move as when you're on top of him. It's kind of creepy. You can make him go cross-eyed, but nothing too much happening. You know, sometimes with Banjo-Kazooie, I guess it's one of those blessed. Oh, actually, if you go on the other side, I believe the other side has a Mumbo Jumbo token. I'll be getting it a bit later, but I usually end up, for whatever reason, by habit, probably picking the right one, which is the Jiggy. Unless it's one of those times where no matter which one you go in, the first one you go in is the Jiggy, and the other one will be the counter, which I think is a Mumbo Jumbo token. Yeah, Clanker has a number of Jiggies inside, as well as a bottle move set. So it's definitely worth checking out first, especially if you don't plan on exploring most of the rest of the level. You can basically just do this beginning part and pretty much smoke through the rest of the game, never having to worry about, oh, sweet dodge. What's really cool, actually, in this part of the Clanker's stomach, I'm going to call that, we've got the ring set, but also we're going to be unlocking a flight pad, or an air pad, I believe they're called. And what that will do is make it so that we can fly to the other edge of the level. But we'll be learning another move, which basically makes like turns Kazooie into like a homing missile, well, not a homing, into a missile on while flying. And actually, these enemies that we see here all around the Clanker stomach, they're called Whiplash, the little tentacles that are flying back and forth. You'll actually notice that there is a tentacle at the top of the screen. Now, as there is only one tentacle like this at the ceiling, you'd think that you would be able to, like in much of the later game, be able to, well, kill this Whiplash using the attack, but actually, it has no script for it, so nothing happens. You just hit it, and then nothing happens, even though I believe in later levels, like in Click Clock Wood, if you were to do that, it would tear through them, no problem. So that's kind of interesting. They just forgot to code, not expecting too many people to backtrack. So another cool little tidbit, but for the most part, like Clanker's Cavern is pretty standard. I think they started off with the idea for Fungi Forest. They probably felt that Clanker as like a staple for the level was too big. There's too much going on in the Fungi Forest. Probably ran out of time. They already had like a Click Clock Wood probably in development. And then what they did is they felt that they needed a level that was a little bit more metallic or industrial, which I guess Clanker's Cavern is the closest thing to remind me to the industrial plant from Banjo-Tooie, in that sense of having that really like grimy feel, other than Rusty Bucket Bay. And that's actually kind of one of those motif staples with Banjo-Kazooie, is that the grimy metallic mixed with the fantastical forest are kind of the two big ones. Then you also got the staple of sort of the kind of the quirky fun houses, and also fire levels, you know, fire and ice levels. Those are kind of the main ones. So yeah, if you were to just attack that, nothing happens. Pretty cool little bits of trivia, only available on TheProjectARK's channel. That's me, in case you didn't know, in case you have no idea who this is. But yeah, it's now we're gonna learn a new technique. This is one that players often don't end up using, even though it's well within their disposal to use it. It's makes you invulnerable for a small period of time. I like what they did with the Xbox 360 controller, how they adjusted the truck trot, I believe, where it's just pulling either trigger works, whereas with the versus on the N64 controller, you had holding the Z trigger and then the Z trigger. We didn't call it that in the day. We called it the Z button, but it is a trigger. I guess I would stable that a trigger because it's on the index finger. You pull on that, but anyways, and then you would press the left C triangle button. Yeah, left triangle or left C or left C triangle button to kind of use that one move that you're going to end up using most of the game. And so they switched it around to the alternating between the triggers. You can press right trigger, left trigger to do it, or left trigger, right trigger. But with the invulnerability attack, that the name of course just appeared on screen, and I have no idea. The Wonder Wing. There we go. The Wonder Wing. After with that technique on the Xbox 360 controller, it's holding down the trigger and then pressing right on the second control stick. I'm gonna call that the sort of the looking control stick from first-person shooters. The right control stick. Yeah, I guess that's the easier way of saying it. But yeah, you just press right on the right control stick, and it's very seamless. They did such a good job of porting this to Xbox Live Arcade in the sense that the controls are seamless and feel really natural. I almost don't like going back and playing the N64 version as much after having the really fluid controls and the setup that the team used for the Xbox Live Arcade version. And that's a major fail on my part. Just falling down. But yeah, we've got a couple more jiggies, a couple honeycombs actually, I think is what we're on the look for now. And this is kind of a fun one that a lot of people miss, swimming underneath here, this small little section. And of course me sucking, and then you can just see it right there if you get down and get it. One of those easy ones to miss, but I, being completionist that I am, you know, you find that out as a kid, and then if you forget about it, there's always Game Facts. Or GameWinners.com. Does anyone even remember that? Game Winners? Man, that was like the cheap knockoff. Is that even still around? I guess so. It's probably been bought out and isn't that good. That was a competitor, but I never went on their site because it wasn't cool as Game Facts. Game Facts had all the cool forums. Where all of the cool kids hung out. All of the cool kids. All 10 of us. All 10 are the coolest kids in the world. Does everyone know what Clanker's Cavern is called in French? Cavern de Clanker. Do we know this? No. Could we have guessed this? Yes, we probably could have easily. I'm just going through my list of trivia tidbits to try and give you guys, because there isn't a heck of a lot to offer to this series, other than for a few people who weren't keeping up with, you know, where Banjo-Kazooie was and the stop and swap and whatnot. Very few things got updated within the last few years, other than one thing in BanjoTooie. That was actually really cool. That something got figured out just before the Xbox Live Arcade version came out. I believe it was in 2009. They found something else hidden in Banjo-Tooie, which was a multiplayer game that was never added, which I almost definitely mentioned in my my last video. But I thought that was really interesting. That the fact of the matter is, Banjo-Tooie was out for what, 10 at least years. And for, yeah, at least 10 years. And for the fact of the matter, that we found something so late in the development period and the release period, and the fact that Rare never made a comment about this uncompleted stuff, and there's still so much fan interest about it, is one of the major reasons why people still keep coming back to this game and keep looking for, keep bothering Rare for reasons about stop and swap and, about any other hidden things. And fans are really adamant and bothersome to Rare. Like, they hate it. If you see interviews or recent interviews with any Rare staff where stop and swap comes up, they get so just annoyed because they're like, it's just a failed project, guys. You don't need to bother us every 10 seconds. Like, it's already been explained pretty in depth. There's no secret conspiracy theory behind stop and swap. So, but I digress. It's just interesting that, that kind of stuff can surface with enough digging and just digging, and eventually stuff like that comes up. And actually, the multiplayer section that was added is playable with, I believe, ROMs. I'm not sure what the Game Sharks can do it on the N64, but ROMs, emulators, there are, you can set that up, or at least download the ROM of just the multiplayer. I'm almost at 100% certain. And what it was just, it was called Devil's Bottles minigame, something like that. And where one character plays as Banjo, and you defeat waves of enemies, and there's an optional second player who controls the bad guys, which is funny because for those of you who've ever had younger brothers, sisters, or cousins, or just younger people come to play video games when you were, let's say, maybe young teens, just pre-teens, you know, 12 years old, you've got your 7-year-old or maybe even your 5-year-old little brother, be like, hey, I want to play. You would always give them that unplugged in second controller, or just to make them feel better, plug in that second controller, and guess what they ended up doing? They ended up playing as quote-unquote the bad guys. Yeah, we all did that. Because, you know, we wanted to keep playing the single-player experience, and I mean, we liked having someone watch us, and it was always so funny because they'd always get so frustrated because, well, they would not be able to defeat you because you were unstoppable and you felt so fantastic that you had at the same time amused your young cohort with you, killing 2 birds with 1 stone, and got someone to watch along while you owned the game. Just completely destroyed it from top to bottom. Actually, what's going to be coming up after I get this last Jinjo I think I'm going for is that I kind of forgot where the last Jiggy was, actually. It happens to me a lot. It's like one item, moment Jumbo token, even, I think I already got the last Jiggy. Oh, that's actually, no, I do have one more Jinjo to get. What ends up happening is I'll have one collectible, it just doesn't come to me. I can't find it, I can't remember exactly where it is. I have these faint memories about where it's supposed to be, and you guys will see little hints at what I'm trying to figure it out, because I know it's inside Clanker, and I can't quite remember in what context, though. I know I just have this weird feeling it's inside Clanker because I just completely, if you guys see, okay, major speed up. Super fast, what up? Yeah, that's an odd reference. Yeah, this is me. I'm going to collect 1 life, just trying to be productive. And I'm like, where is it? Where is it? I just scour. I scoured, thinking about the whole level. This whole time I'm swimming. This isn't like 8 times speed or something ridiculous. So it's hard for you guys to relate how much time I was just like, what am I doing? Where am I supposed to go? Look, I'm looking all around. Like, oh, come on, it's got to be inside of Clanker, right? It's up here? No? Okay, cool. All right, cool. No, yeah, maybe. No, okay, cool. I get smacked down by that fin. Come inside. This is my thinking, right? You'll notice I go to the flight pad. And I keep coming up, and you think that is just the drop down from Clanker. This happened to be so many run-throughs where Clanker has a blowhole at the top, and you guys saw it being used as an elevator, but also what you can do is just drop down. And what you assume, it goes straight down to that air pad, but no, it goes to this section right here, which you can get through without using your Wonder Wing. I have successfully done that. It's not recommended just because it's can be rough to do, and we've got our 100th note piece, 2 Wonder Wing gold feathers left, and number 10. Pretty cool, eh? Just in one like that. I thought that was that's one of the ones that stumped me most. And see, we dropped right down to the air pad, and I knew something was up for sure. But for the most part, yeah, that's pretty much, that is Clanker's Cavern. I'm going to be showing off one cute little feature that about Clanker and his animation. I'm really surprised that they included that in the in his animation script to do. But you know what? I like cool little additives like that the developers do. The next part we're going to do is going to be Bubble Gloop Swamp. I don't know if I'm going to add any other information other than interesting trivia on the level, but thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. And as always, have yourselves a great day. Nailed it.